Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, and back to the Sliced Sudoku Sandwich Sudoku Puzzle Pack. It's actually been a couple of months since I've recorded one of these because of reasons, but we're getting on to the harder puzzles, and this is a puzzle that I have solved before. I have tried to record this one, I think, about 3 months ago and failed, and then I got together with a bunch of other setters, or a bunch of the other people who helped create the pack, and we solved it together, and hopefully that means now I will be able to bring you a good recording of this puzzle, because that's the point. So not a blind solve, but it has been a couple of months and I'm not 100% sure of all the details, but hopefully it's enough in my head now that I will just be able to go through and record. So that's the point. Let's go through. Of course, there'll be a link below to this puzzle as well as to where you can get the entire pack. I don't know what other details I was giving. I should have reviewed some of my other videos. Let's just get into the puzzle, shall we? So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, we have to place the digits 1 through 9 without repeats. Then we've got a sandwich variant. The numbers outside the grid give the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 9 in that row or column. So for example, we have to put 3 between digits summing to 3 between the 1 and the 9 in this column, digits summing to 14 between the 1 and the 9 in this column, 15 in this row. But in a diagonal pointed to by a clue, this clue is the sum of all digits possible for a 1 or 9 to be part of the sum. Sorry, it's digits it is seen from the clue. It is possible for in diagonal pointed by the clue. The clue is the sum of all digits between the first 1 and 9 in the diagonal. So for example, on this 14 diagonal, the 14 is the sum of the digits between the first 1 and the first 9 on the diagonal as seen from the clue. It is possible for a 1 or 9 to be part of the sum as long as it is not the first 1 or 9 seen from the clue. So for example, we could go 9, 9, 5, 1, and that would give us our 14. That is possible, which is terrifying. Okay. Kropki pairs, digits separated by a black dot are in a 2-to-1 ratio, and digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. That's all we know. So I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So the gimme seems to be this. So what we have is we have to put a digit summing to 3 between a 1 and a 9 on this diagonal. So we know these have to be a 1 and a 9. This has to be a digit between the 1 and the 9 that sums to 3. So that's a gimme. Okay. We need to put digits between 1 and 9 on this diagonal summing to 3. Well, actually, let's continue coloring. These are all green. Okay, let's mark some diagonals. So we've got a diagonal here. We've got a diagonal here, which can't go further than that. We've got a diagonal. No, that's not right. We don't want that. We've got a diagonal here. There's a 6 diagonal going up here. There's a 9 diagonal going up here. And there's a 2 diagonal going up there. Okay, so there's the diagonals marked. Oof. Okay. How is this going to work? So this 3 diagonal, I could use 1 as part of the clue. So I could, for example, go 1, 2, 1, 9. That would make this a 2. No, this can't be a 1 or a 9. I don't think that can be a 1 or a 9, because if this was a 1 or a 9, I'd need to do a 3 clue in this column. But the only way to do a 3 in the column is, because I can't repeat digits in a column. I can on a diagonal, but I can't in a column or a row, is a single 3. The only way to get a 3 sum, because if I can't, to do it in 2 digits, remember, you cannot use 1 or 9 as part of the sum in a row or column, because it's between the 1 and the 9 in the row or column is 2 digits. The minimum is 2, 3, which is 5. So it'd have to be a single 3. If this was a 1 or 9, this would have to be a 3, and it can't be. So this can't be a 1 or a 9. So that's a gimme. And I can't put 1 and 9 here. But that's not telling me much. I could put a 1 or, like I could go 139 here or 139 here, but these I can't put the 3 here. So it's this diagonal that's under the most pressure. Well, this could never be a 9. If this is a 1, I couldn't go then 3, 9. And I couldn't go 1, 1, 2. I'd have to go 1, 2, 1. And I can't do that because this black dot would mean if this is a 1, this is a 2. So if this is a 1, this couldn't be a 1. It couldn't be a 2 because the 2 would be here. It couldn't be a 3. The minimum here would be a 4 and I'd have blown the total. So this can't be a 1 and it can't be a 9. So this is green. Okay. So now I'm limited to 4 cells. So I could still go 1, 1, 2, 9 or 1, 3, 9 or 1, 2, 1, 9. So I don't know about that. Or I could do 1, 9 here. If this is a 1 or a 9, the 15 clue is those two and ends there. Okay. So putting them in those seems to be okay. Putting them in these, is that a problem? Because if I do the 14 in those, this is 8, 6 or 9, 5, because I could put the 9 there. I could go 9 and then this be a 1 and this be a 9, 5. So this would be 9, 5 or 8, 6. So I could go 9, 9. It'd then have to go 3, 1 because I couldn't put a 1 in the sum then because the first one. Yeah, if this is 9, 5, this would have to be the 9. So it could go 9, 9, and then that would be 9. That'd be 1. That's if those are both. That's if, and all this is trying to say, do I include this? I still think it's this 3 clue. Can it be both of those? And an interesting way to do this might be coloring them. Because I don't think it can be those. Because let's look at this. If it's these, and I do this as a 2-cell sum, the 15 has to go this way. Because I can't do 15 in a single cell. So the 15 would be in those two. And that would have to be red. So if this was the sum, this would have to be different to this. So this can never be a 2-cell sum, or those would have to be the same digit. So I've now got that it's either here and here or here and here. And I think this might be a problem, because if I do that, that can't be orange or red. And that puts pressure on the 15, doesn't it? Because it would put red in here and orange. Well, the orange couldn't go here. The orange would be in one of those two. And that does break. That's mean. Okay, so if I did it here, This is orange and red. This couldn't be orange or red. Red would have to be here. This couldn't be orange or red because I'm doing the threesome in those two. So this has to be the first one and the first 9. So this becomes green. So this sees orange and red. So that is green. This sees orange and red. So that is green. This sees orange and red because they're the 2 in the row. Those are now the first 1 9 seen on the row, and that's not a 14. So this doesn't work. And I can't do a threesome, so those are the sums. And the 15 must go this way. I can't put 15 in a single cell. So all of these become green. That's mean. And this can't be a 1, or this would be a 2, and that'd have to be a 13. So this is the 1, this is the 9, this is the 8, this is the 7. This is now the 9, this is a 3, which is green. Don't know about that. That could still be a 1. Because once I've seen a 1, it doesn't matter what happens after the row. But this diagonal is now done. In fact, I might mark that somehow. So I might say this diagonal is done, this diagonal is done. Haven't done the verticality. But this 1 is going to be the first on the row. I can't put a 9 here, and if I put a 1 here, oh no, 1 could be included in the sum. This cell here could still be 1, and I could do 1 and then more cells summing to 14. But if I start here, I need at least 2. So this must be included. But I can't do 9, 1, 13. Or if I did 1, if I put a 1 here, I couldn't go 1. That would only put me at, I'd still need another 13, which means I need another 2 cells. And this must be the end of it. Don't know if it starts here or here, but this must be the end of it. But that could still be a 1 and start it. So 14 is at least 2 cells in either direction. So those all become green. I can take this off this diagonal because the 2 can't go that far. There's a 6 on this diagonal. The diagonal can't go this far now. So even if this is a 1, it's not part of the 6 diagonal. So I can take this off. I can in fact take this off as well. Oh, this cell sees a 1 and a 9. This is green. So I can take this off as well. Now this is a 15. So I can't make this a 1. If I make this a 1, then this is a 0 clue and I can't make it a 9. So this comes off and this becomes green because I can't put a 1 there. So 1 is up here. So this is 9, 1. If this is always a 9, isn't it? If this is 1, then I have to go down to a 9. And if this is a 9, I end immediately. This is always the 9, which puts 9 in one of those two. This sees a 1 and a 9. I can't make this. No, I could include 9 in the 15 clue. 9, 6, 9, 1 would be a valid 15 clue. Nine is in one of those two. This sees 1 and 9. And, well, I could never have put 9 into a clue. So there's a 9 in one of these two. Not 3. Unselect that one. Okay, there's a 9 in one of those two. Okay. Oh, these all see 1 and 9. Those are green. This is the start of a 15, which must be done in at least 2 cells. These are green. So if this is a 1, these 2 digits sum to 10. If this isn't a 1, those 2 digits sum to 11. Three is up here. What is this triple? 1, 2, 4, 6. That's restricting this a bit, but not enough. 3, 6 makes this 2, 4. I just can't make this 2, 4. I can't make it 1, 2. I can't make it 2, 4. This is 3, 6 or 4, 8. Because 4, 8 there would make this 2, 6. 3, 6 would make this 2, 4. So 4, 8 here makes, there must be a 2 in here. If this is 4, 8. Okay, so what can go on here? I can't do 1, 2. I can't do 2, 4, or both of those are 6. 3, 6 makes this 2, 4, and 4, 8 makes this 2, 6. There is always a 2 here, so there's no 2 here. I don't know what else that is doing. There must be a 3 in this column between the 9 and the 1, wherever the 9 and the 1 goes. So that can't be a 3. That's not the 3. This is 3, 6. So this is 2, 4. And this is 6, which puts 6 down here. So what are these digits? It's a quadruple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. That can't be a 9. Because if this is a 9, I would be ending the sandwich with either a 1, 9, so this would be a 1 clue, or if this is the first one, it'd just end immediately as a 0 clue. And this can't be a 9 either, because it sees 1. So this is 5, 7, or 8. This is a 9, this is a 3. If this is a 9, I don't know anything about this column. 9 is in one of these 3. Nine, 3, 1. That seems okay. This is oof-worthy. 9 is in one of those. Oh, man. There must be a 1 on this line. There must be a 1 down here somewhere. And there must be a 1 on this line. I can't put a 9 there, there, or there. So the 9 on this line is at the end of the line. So if the 9 is here, I could do 6 in a single digit or in 2 digits. I can't do 6 in 3 digits. Because to do it in 3 digits, I'd end the line because it's starting with a 9. So a 6 would put a 1, a 9 here would put a 1 in one of those two, and a 9 here would put 1 in one of those two. So there's a 1 in one of those three. A 9 in one of those two puts a 9 in one of those two. A 9 here puts, a 9 here puts a 9 in one of those two, which allows that, which does allow any of those to be a 1. So there's a 1 in one of those three. But if this is a 9, actually that might be a problem. Let's look at that. If this is a 9, because of this 9 clue, so let's say this is a 9, that would put a 1. I could do 9 in 2 or 3. So it would put the 1 in one of those two. But the 9 here would put 1 in one of those two. 1 couldn't go here. Oh, if this is a 9, where do I put 1 on this line? These two cells see that and those. So this can't be a 9. That's the trick. Forget this line. Don't need to know about it. If this is a 9, there's a 1 in one of those two cells because I can't do 9 in a single digit. So 1 would have to be in one of those. And where do I put red on that line? Because remember, I've made 9 orange. Where would I put 1 on this line? There'd be no 1 on this line and we're broken. So this isn't the 9. This is the 9. So this is yellow. Yellow. This is not colored. These are, I don't know about those, but this is now green. And where's the 9 on this line? I can't put a 9 in any of those or there. That's the 9 on this line. Now that actually hasn't forced anything, because this could still be 9, 2, 1. But there must be a 1 on this line. This is the 9 on the line now. So this is green, and there must be a 1 in one of those two. Is this the only 9 on this line now? Well, it's coming down from this direction. I can't put a 9 there, there, or there. So this is the only 9 on the line, because none of those can be 9. Now, I could do a 3 or even possibly a 4-cell 9. Can I do a 4-cell 15 sum? Can I do a 4-cell 15 sum? Yes, easily. But I can't put a 1 here. So the 1 is in one of those two. Because I can't put a 1 here because 1 is in one of those two for this line. Now, so this can't be a 1 or a 9. In fact, none of these cells can be 1 or 9. So this can't be a 1 or a 9 because it sees a 9 in the column and a 1 on the line. This is the same. But 1 is in one of those three now. So this can't be a 9. If this was a 9, I'd have to go 9, 9, 1 to get the 9 clue. This isn't the 9. 1 is in here. And I need at least 2 digits to get to the 9. So the 9 has to be in one of those. And this, oh, and this isn't the 9. This is the 9. These are green, which I'm going to mark. But now, how do I do this 2 clue? Because I'm counting up. The only place I could put 1 on the line is there, and that's a 2. This is crazy. This 1 is looking up saying this isn't a 1. If this is a 9, this can't be a 9. If this is a 9, this couldn't be a 1 because it'd break the 3 clue. All of those would be green and I'd have to put 3 in 3 digits. That is not the 9. That's the 9, which is yellow. This is now green. These are green and have to sum to 9. They're not 1, 8, 2, 7. They're 3, 6 in that order or 4, 5 in either order. Okay. What clues are now done? This 2 clue is done. I'm just going to mark it there. This 9 clue isn't. These are now green, which means I can take this line away. I still have to put a 9 up here, which has to be at least, no, it doesn't have to be at least 2 digits. Well, it does in this case. So this has to be the 9. I have to do 9 in at least 2 digits. And the only place on this line I can put a 9 is there. So this is the 9. I need at least 2 digits to make 9 because I can't put 9 in either of those cells. So those have to make up the 9. I could still put a 1 in them. Don't do that because I could go 9, 1, 8. No, I can't go. Yes, because I'm counting from this direction. So I could go 1, 8, 1, 9, and that would be fine. So I know that this is the 9. Except the 3 clue is going to break that because I have to put a 3 before the 1. So this is yellow and these are all green. So that's what did that. Almost jumped the gun, but didn't. But I have to have a 1 on this line and it's there. So this is now done. No, I'm going to put that line back in. Sorry, I'm going to put this line back in. I need to solve that. I need to solve that. This is done. This 3 clue is done. All of these are green. So this is the 1, and this has to be 8, 6 to get me to 14. And the 14 clue is now done. So now we know this isn't the 1. These are green. In fact, these are 1, 2, 4, 5. But now we know that these need to sum to 14, and we've got 6, so I need another 8. That's the 8, and I can take 8 out of those. This isn't the 9 either. That's green, and this is a 5, 7 pair. Okay. And I've done the 14 on the diagonal. Okay. This one is taking 1 out of there. So this is the 1, taking 1 out of there, making this the 1. So we got yellow, yellow, green, green. Now I know the disposition of these lines. So this sum is in those cells, and this sum is in those cells. This horizontal 15 is done. So what do we have now? These have to sum to 15. That's an odd digit. I can't use a 9 and I can't use the same digit twice. This has to be 7, 8. The 7 is looking down, making that the 8, that the 7. And now this clue is done. These have to sum to 9. These have to sum to 6. Well, there's only 2 ways of doing that in 2 digit, 2, 4 or 3, 3, because I can't use actually, no, it could be 1, 5, except I can't put a 1 in either of them. So it's either 2, because all of the 1s are predisposed. In fact, I can finish the 1s. These cells see 1 and 9. This sees a 1 and a 9. So this is the 1, that's yellow. And actually, yep, these are all green. These are all green. And now I can get rid of the green. Right, great. This puzzle is tricksy. I have solved it before though, remember that. So how do I make this? I can't use 3s, so it can't be 2 3s, so it has to be 2 4. No, not that cell, that was a mistake. That gives me a 2 4 pair in this column. So how do I do this? These have to sum to 9, because it's this clue down here. I can't do 1 8, can't do 2 7, can't do 3 6. This is 4 5. Well, that's that clue now done. But that 4 5 means this is the 2, this is the 4, and now that's this 6 clue done. I'll just mark it there. And that's all of the sandwich clues done, except for this 9 clue. So now we're down to Sudoku. So let's look at Sudoku. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 6 and 8. So this is a 6. This is an 8. That puts 8 in one of those 2 by Sudoku. This is a 3 by Sudoku because of the 3s. This is a 3 by Sudoku, which means this isn't 3, 6. This is 4, 5. And now I'm happy to mark that as done. So we've got 4, 5 here and 4, 5 here. 4 and 5 must be in here. 2. Oh, the 2 is looking up, making that the 4 and that the 2, which now puts 2 in one of those two, but that 2 says not there. That's a 2. 7 is looking up, making that 5, which makes that 4 and that 5. The 5 makes that the 7, which, no, wrong one. 5 makes that 7, which means 7 is down here. The 6 looks up, making this 3 and this 6. So I know what these are. These are 4 and 7. Yeah, there's no 5 here. This is a 4-7 pair, but I can't put a 4 there. So this is 7 and 4. And there's no 4 in any of those. This is not the 5 either because there's now a 5 in the column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. The 5 takes 5 out of there. So 5 is in one of those two. So 2, 4, and 7. So these are 2, 4, 7 must contain a 7. There's no 4 there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's an 8 in one of those two. And they're 2, 4, 8. Don't like it. This quadruple also must have a 2 in one of those two. 6. 7 in one of those two. So 7 is now in one of those two because I can't put 7 in any of those. 7 is in one of those two because of that 7 looking across. 8 down here. Not seeing that either. I've done all the sandwich clues. And I've got all the 1s and 9s. So it is down to Sudoku. 3 is in one of those two. 2 is way less restricted. 4, I'm not sure. 5, I'm not sure. Ooh. So what's this quadruple? I need to put a 3 in one of those two. That is a useless X-wing on 3s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are from 6, 7, and 8. In fact, this is from 6, 7, and 8. But I'm not seeing, well, that's not 7 or 8. That's a 6. So I can take 6 out of both of those. So this is a triple, 3, 7, 8. And there's no 8 there. So 8 is looking up in one of those two. So it's 2, 4, 5 in this column. This is only 2 or 4. Because of the 5. This is 6, 7, or 8. Because it's 3, 6, 7, 8 for the row, but there's a 3 looking down or in the box. Have I missed a sandwich clue? Or got something wrong? I don't think I have. These are 2, 6, 8. Five is right there. Because 5 looking into the box and 5 looking up and down. So this is a triple. What? This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no 2 or 6 there. That's a 7. Taking 7 out of both of those. But the 7 is looking across saying that's not the 7, so that's the 7. So in this triple, in here, The 6 is looking down, making that the 2, making that the 6. The 2 is looking up, saying that's not the 2. So this is 4 or 8 only. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 6, and 8. These are 4, 6, and 8. There's no 6 here. This is the 6. This is a 4, 8 pair. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 3, 5 pair. And this is a 2, 4 pair, giving me a 2, 4 in the column, meaning that's the 5. This is not the 5, but the 5 looks down, making that the 3 and that the 5, taking 3 out of there, making that the 3, because this is a 7, 8. But the 5 looks down, making that the 4 and that the 5. Feel like I'm very close. I'm just also very blind. I've got too many digits here. The 4 makes that the 8 and that the 4, which looks up making that the 8, taking 8 out of there. I've still got too many digits not placed in this column. The 8 looks down, making that the 7, taking 7 out of there. The 7 looks across, making that the 8 and that the 7. Still got too many digits. The 8 comes out of here, and the 7 looks up, making that the 2, which makes that the 4, which makes that the 7. The 2 looks across, making this the 4, which makes this the 2, which jumps across, making that the 4, which looks up, making that the 2. And the 2 looks down, making this the 6, which makes this the 8, and this the 6, which looks in, making this the 8. The 6 and the 8, of course, makes this the 2, and that is the solution to the puzzle. That was a trek. Absolute trek. And there's a couple of very tricky spots in that puzzle. And there's a couple of things to watch out for, such as the fact that this could be a 1, and what was happening on this 3 diagonal is absolutely mean. Whew, what a puzzle. But if you got stuck on the puzzle, you have a video to help you. When I got stuck on the puzzle, I had a bunch of other puzzle solvers, the people who helped me make this pack, in order to help me. So between us, we get the stuff we need. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you've been enjoying the whole pack. Yes, the pack has been promised now for many, many months, but that's on BremSter. Blame BremSter for the delay. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you're enjoying the pack, and as always, good luck with your solving.